Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Well guys, it's Christmas Eve here at my house 2017, and first off, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. In typical South Georgia fashion, today it's about 70 degrees outside, which is a typical Christmas for us. In fact, if you look, I'm sporting my shorts out here in the shop today. This is Christmas in South Georgia. That's just the way it is, and quite honestly, I enjoy the nice, warm, pleasant day outside. But anyway, enough on that. The reason we're shooting this video, as many of you guys know, we're doing a little Mini-Lathe giveaway, and I posted this a while back. A viewer actually sent this lathe to me as a gift, and I decided that it would be in better hands to pass it along to someone that could put it to use. And to do that, we put together a contest. I asked my viewers who were interested in this lathe to send in a video, basically telling about themselves and why they want this mini lathe. And we had about, I can't remember the exact number, I think there was 22 that were on the ballot. We had a few videos that came in a little bit after we started the voting, and I couldn't really add them to the voting without starting the voting over again, but I did try to put links up to all the videos that were sent in. And quite honestly, there were some really good submissions that were put in out there. I watched all the videos and I really enjoyed it. I asked you guys, my viewers, to go look at the videos that were in my playlist that I created, and I'll put a link to that playlist down in the description, down in the comment section, or the description of the video, if you want to go back and look at that if you haven't already. Of course, it's too late to vote on them now, but still, there were some really good submissions down there. And then I asked my viewers again to vote on who they thought was most worthy recipient of the mini lathe. And we had a little over 900 votes come in. I went through all the votes, looked at them, and even though I asked people not to do this, there was a little monkey business going on, and we had a few people that submitted multiple votes for the same person. One individual voted about 100 times. Yeah, okay. They figured out how to get around the system where it would let them vote multiple times, but hey, I told you I could see it, and I did. Interestingly, even though we had some people who tried to stuff the ballot box for some particular viewers, it really did not have an impact on the final results, on the final voting, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. And it was really rather overwhelming. The winner, or as you're about to hear, winners we're going to have in this contest. So anyway, very pleased there. So before we announce winners and all that, I want to just mention real quickly that I've got a little addition to the lathe that was sent in by a viewer that's going to go with this lathe. Let me grab that real quick. All right, so Ricky Allen, who lives up in Tennessee, sent me an email, and he told me he actually used to have the same lathe, and he said that when he had his, he discovered that the Morse tapers in here are a Morse taper number 0. I honestly didn't even know there was a Morse taper 0, but that is what this machine takes. He says they're kind of hard to find, but he found some Morse tapers that fit this lathe, and he had some extras that he had ordered. These are in sleeves from Jacobs, and he sent along a couple of different ones that he wanted to pass along with us. So this one here is a Morse taper 0, and that goes up to a Jacobs taper number 33, I guess, and that's for like using a Jacobs chuck on here. So I don't have a chuck, unfortunately, to go with these, but I'm going to pass the tapers along to the winner so that they can do that. And let's see, here we got 2 more 0 Morse tapers, and these go to a number 0 Jacobs taper, again for a small chuck. And the last ones he had were, there are 2 dead centers here that are Morse taper 0s. So those are some accessories that are kind of unique to this machine that we're going to pass along. And I want to thank Ricky for sending those in. Very, very nice gesture there. All right, so to the winner. So this is going to be our Christmas present from Vintage Machinery. And what I did, and first off, let me just say this. When you voted on the SurveyMonkey website, the results that it was giving was some kind of weighted average that did not mean anything, and I was unable to go in there and really change that. I don't really understand even why it was calculating those numbers, but I was able to get the results, and what I did was we used a weighted total, and actually I looked at doing this two different ways, and the results came out the same either way. But the way I'm going to show the results is the way that I said I was going to do it. It was going to be a weighted total. I allowed you to vote for 3 people, first, second, and third place. The first place, if you voted someone and you gave them a first place rating, they got 3 points. If you gave them a second place rating, they got 2 points. If you gave them a third place rating, they got 1 point. Not really votes, but points, and I added those all together. The other way I could have done it was just counted. You know, you voted for 3 and all of them got a point apiece. Ironically, the top rankings, it came out the same, whether it was the weighted total or the actual number of votes. But I'm going to show you the results for the weighted total because I think that gives a more accurate, where you gave, if you were a first place vote, you got a higher ranking than a second place vote. And I'm going to zoom you in here. I've got a graph where I graphed it out, and you can see exactly how things laid out. So let me zoom you in here and show you that. All right, so I got the results covered up here temporarily. I wanted to just kind of show you this because when we calculate everything together, it was very obvious that there were 2 of the videos that just ranked head and shoulders above everybody else. And what I liked about that was when I voted myself, these 2 were actually my top 2 as well, so it kind of goes along with what I was wanting to do after I saw everything. They were all great submissions, but again, in my opinion, there were 2 that kind of rose to the top, and those 2 are Scott Tyndall's Home Shop. Actually, it's Tara Tyndall there that posted her little video on why she wanted the little mini lathe for her home shop, and then Warden Graham, who is Always Be Making, who is the physics teacher out in Texas, that also put in a video, and he wanted the mini lathe to use in his classroom. And to me, those 2 were my favorites, and obviously they were your favorites as well. When all the voting come to the conclusion, Miss Tara was the winner by a slight edge over the second one over the physics classroom, but it was really, really, really close. So anyway, our mini lathe giveaway is going to go to Tara Tyndall, who happens to live not too terribly far from me here in Georgia, which is also going to make it a little bit easier to get there. I probably won't have to ship this. I'll tell you what, Scott knows how to get a hold of me. He's been down here to my place before. We talk on email and Facebook all the time. So Scott, get with me. Let's work out the logistics on how to get this lathe up to Tara. I think we got a couple of options. So anyway, we can talk about that. Well, guys, like I said, the voting was really close. And when I saw Graham's entry on the physics classroom, quite honestly, it struck a place in me, and I really want to do something for for Graham as well, and for his classroom. And it's kind of for personal reasons. Number one, I believe in a good education. I believe in a hands-on education. And Graham is a physics teacher, and he is teaching physics hands-on in his classroom. He's applying it and making it fun for the kids. He basically, if you didn't see his video, he turned his classroom into a maker space. And he is teaching kids how to make things, and he's teaching them physics at the same time. I think that's really cool. Okay, I think that's really, really cool. Number two, I know from my personal experience that the impact of some shop teachers that I had in high school, or even in middle school before I got in high school, all the way through school, had a profound effect on my interest in what I do. And I think it is just great that not only is he teaching physics in a more of a science background, but he's also teaching kids how to make things with their hands, how to do things. I think that's really cool. So here's what we're going to do for Graham. I guess you could call it second place. He indicated in his video, and I've actually communicated with him a little bit via email and found out a little bit more about what his needs are in his classroom. But they were wanting to use this for primarily wood turning. And I can tell you from personal experience that while you can turn wood on a little small mini metal lathe like this lathe is not designed for wood turning, and it is really not ideal for that. You really need a wood lathe for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually purchase, I thought I had one that I could round up, but that fell through. But I'm just going to purchase a new mini lathe, wood lathe, and I'm going to donate that to his classroom. And I know many of you guys have sent me personal messages or whatever, and also concerning Graham in his classroom. And if any of you guys out there want to help out in this, and I'm not asking anybody to do this, if something you want to do, and I know from some of the emails and comments that I've gotten that some of you guys have already indicated that you want to do this, you can make a donation to my Vintage Machinery website through PayPal. Again, I'll put a link down below, or you can go to the Vintage Machinery website. There's a link there to donate to the Vintage Machinery site. And we'll put together a package, and I'm gonna take care of the wood lathe. But if some of you guys kick in a little bit extra, maybe we can get some turning tools and some other stuff to send to Graham to his classroom so they can really start putting that in there. And Graham also indicated that while he is mostly right now wanting to do wood turning, down the road he may want to do some metal turning in there as well. And I'll just put the bug out. If anybody's got a little small metal lathe that would be appropriate for a classroom, quite honestly, I think that it needs to be something a little more substantial than this one. You know, I'm thinking like a little small South Bend or something like that. Maybe we can work out something there to maybe get a metal lathe in there as well. In fact, I'm working on something in that realm already, but if any of you guys have any ideas, he's located in, I think, Carrollton, Texas, so maybe some of the guys out in that area. If you know of something that would be appropriate and would be a good machine, not just something to put over there, but a suitable machine to use in a classroom for doing metal turning, maybe we can help out in that area as well. So anyway, there you go. There's the results. I hope you agree with the results. I know that it's not going to make everybody happy, but it was quite clear. It was very clear from the votes how you guys wanted this thing to go. And like I said, I was planning on just doing the one, but the voting was so close. And both of those entries, both Tara as well as Graham's, both of those entries, they struck a chord in my heart as well. And I just really felt like it was something that needed to be done. So we're throwing in the second little wood lathe as part of this deal. And you guys have been great to me over the years, and I feel like I can pass something along there, and I'm more than happy to do that. So, and again, if you want to help out, great. If not, no big deal. But we will we'll give you a way for those that do want to donate toward the classroom giveaway as well. So with that's going to be a wrap. I want to thank everybody out there so much for your participation in this. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I was really kind of concerned that it was going to get down and there was going to be a lot of people really close. We're going to have to make a really tough choice. As it turned out, the choice was pretty easy, and I appreciate everybody's input on that. I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Christmas is something that's very special to me personally. It's very special to my family. It's a very special time, and I sincerely hope that each and every one of you have a great Christmas season this year. And with that, we're going to sign off and let you get to your families, and so you can enjoy your Christmas as well. So with that, thanks guys. We'll talk to you later.